Trials, troubles, difficult times are they're just part of life. I've heard it said, maybe you've heard the saying too, that when it comes to the trials that we all face, it says that you're either in a trial right now, or you're just coming out of a trial, or you're about to enter one. It just seems like trials are just to be an expected part of life. Trials are those things that come into our lives that are hard, they're unpleasant, they're things that we wish weren't happening, but yet for some reason God has allowed those things to happen in our lives. And when we're in them, especially if they've gone on for a while, we can be discouraged, we can become angry. There's just all kinds of things. And mostly we start to, I think it's hard to remember the truth. And so I want to share with you a verse this morning that has 4 truths that we need to remember that are true about our trial whenever we're in a trial. 1 Corinthians 10:13 is the verse. Maybe it's common to you. It just happened to be in our sermon this past week, and so I've been thinking about it. But it says, no temptation. And the word there for temptation can also mean trial or test. It says, no temptation has overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond your ability, but with the temptation, He will also provide the way of escape, that you may be able to endure it. And in this verse, we have 4 truths that we need to keep in mind about what's going on in our trial. First of all, the number one thing to remember about your trial is not unique. You're not the only one to go through something like this. It says it's common to man. Whatever we go through, other people have faced it too. And so it's not so unique that we have an excuse to get angry about it, or to blame God, or to respond in some way to our trial that says nobody's ever faced anything like this, so I can give up. Your trial is not unique. That's the first truth that we need to remember about our trials. And it's easy to forget that, because when I'm suffering like nobody else is suffering. How about you? But that tells us that that's not true. The second thing that we need to remember, the truth about our trials, is that it's not too much. And I can tell you that trials that we go under, it just feels like, how much more can I take? It feels like it's too much. But God says in His Word that our trial is not too much. He says He will not let you be tempted or tested beyond your ability. God is in control of both the intensity and the duration of our trials, and He's not going to allow it to be something that you can't handle. And when I say this, that you can't handle it, it means we need to rely on God. But it's like our trial is not an excuse for us to respond in an ungodly way or to sin because of it, to leave things undone that we should do because we have our trial. And so we need to remember that it's not too much. We can handle it in a godly way and respond to others while we go through our trial in a way that's pleasing to God. The third truth that we need to keep in is that there's no way out. And I know, and you probably know too, people who've gone through trials that have lasted a long time. But God says that there will be an end. He said, with the temptation, He will also provide the way of escape. Now, I don't know when that's coming, but we can trust Him that it is coming, and we should look for it and trust for Him to bring it in His timing. The fourth one is that we tend to believe is that we're on our own. And the truth is that you are not on your own. It says God is faithful, and He is with you. Just like it says in Psalm 23, He says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, because you are with me. And our God is faithful, and He is with us in the midst of the trials that He allows into our lives to somehow bring glory to Him, to develop in us some meaning, some part of Christ-likeness that we need to have. But there's a purpose in our trials, and these are 4 truths to remember about your trials. And I hope that it will encourage you as you go through the inevitable ups and downs and difficulties of life.